In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the onboard voice effects on the RØDECaster Pro II. The voice effects, in comparison to the onboard processing like compressors and EQ, are different in that they drastically alter the sound of your signal, so you can therefore use them in more creative and experimental ways. Now, there are two main categories of effects on the RØDECaster Pro II. These include time-based effects like reverb, and then you have echo. You also have voice modulation effects like
robot.
And of course, pitch shifting.
As you can see, these are activated via the smart pads, and this allows the user to activate them on the fly during a podcast or a live stream. These effects can also be toggled so they're always on for any channel, and this is really good if you're recording music, for example, and you want to add some space and dimension to your track. Okay, let's go through how to use the onboard voice effects now. First, let's open up the pad configuration menu. You can actually get there by pressing the channel settings button for our smart pads channel, or going to Settings Smart Pads. Okay, let's make ourselves a new bank of smart pads now. We'll click through our banks to an empty one and tap on one of the empty slots here. From here, we can decide what our smart pad actually does. For this video, we're focusing on the effects, so we are going to click on Effects. This is your effects setup screen. At the top here, you can select which microphone channel the effect will be applied to from input 1 to input 4. By default, all the inputs are selected and the pad that we are editing is automatically active, so you'll hear the effects straight away. All you need to do is switch the effect on. Testing, 1, 2, we got a reverb on. Just so that you can hear me, I'm going to turn that off for now. To the right of these inputs, you can also select how you want the pad to behave when activated, either latching or non-latching. When latching is selected, the effect will be applied to that channel when the pad is pressed, and it will remain on until the pad is pressed again. When latching is off, the effect will only be applied while the pad is pressed down. So when you take your finger off the pad, it will turn this effect off. So this is when latching is on, and I press it to turn it off. So with latching on, I press it and it's on. I press it again to turn it off. And when latching is switched off, I need to hold down the pad. And when I release the pad, the effect turns off. Down the bottom here, you've got your different effect types. Let's check them out now. As you've just heard already, the first effect on the left is a studio quality reverb engine. This effect will add space to your signal and can be used for anything from adding subtle ambience to vocals or acoustic guitar to a cavernous wall of reverb for triggering on the fly while gaming or podcasting. Here you've got your level control. This can be used to add or remove the amount of reverb that you want. Here you've got your low and high frequency cuts. These can be used to shape the tonal character of the reverb. And on the right is your reverb type knob, which allows you to select the size of the room that your reverb engine is imitating. Smaller room sizes will have a shorter tail, whereas large room sizes will have a very long tail. I'm going to go for a large, bright reverb for triggering on the fly. So I've got everything set up exactly the way that I want it, so I'll just hit the save button up here. Now, when I press and hold the smart pad, the reverb effect will be routed to my mic channel, like so. Okay, moving on, and you have echo. This effect will add repeats to your signal to create the feeling of space, somewhat similar to reverb. But this can either be a short single repeat or a long trail of echoes, or anything in between. This is your level control, which adjusts how much echo that you are adding to your voice. These are your high and low cut controls, which you can use to make the repeats either darker or brighter. The delay control adjusts the time between the repeats, and the decay control adjusts how many repeats there are. So here I really want to create something from a horror movie that I can turn on and off. So I'll adjust that now, make my changes. Now when I press this pad, the horror movie effect will turn on, and all I have to do to turn it off is simply press this pad once again. Okay, that's the one. Okay, next up we have megaphone, which is a simple one knob effect that is fairly self-explanatory. It will make your signal sound thin and distorted just like a megaphone. Let's load that up to activate with latching, and when I press it, it can sound like I'm speaking through a megaphone. 2, yeah, I'm speaking through a megaphone, woo! Then you've got 3 more voice modulation effects to choose from, Robot, Voice Disguise, and Pitch Shift. Robot will make your voice sound robotic with 3 different effect types to choose from and a knob to adjust the level of this effect.
So I could be a small robot, I could be a huge robot, and a massive robot.
Voice Disguise, which is the next one here, will make your voice sound deep and warped so that no one recognizes you in a group chat.
I am totally anonymous. Credit card, you got it.
And Pitch Shift lets you raise or lower the pitch of your voice at an interval of your choosing. Use the coarse control to step up or down in semitone increments and the fine control for making minor adjustments. Worth keeping in mind, you can have only one of these 3 voice modulation effects active at a single time, but you can have as many or as little of the other effect combinations active on a single pad. So if you wanted to create a really nice signal chain for singing, you could add a little bit of echo, a little bit of reverb, maybe something else. So let's jump in here now and do that. So if I go effects, I want to have a little bit of reverb. Let's make that a small medium room. We'll add a bit of echo. We want a touch of that, just a small amount. So whenever we go into sing, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Last but not least, our smart pads can also be adjusted via Rode Central. Simply select Configure Smart Pads and you'll be prompted to put your RØDECaster Pro II into transfer mode. From here, you can quickly change the name of your pads and adjust the colors of each. That about covers all of the voice effects on the RØDECaster Pro II. Happy recording, everybody.